Well, I just can't stay out of these oranges. I love them things. And you know, they don't look good at all. But you know, most oranges, when they ship, before they ship them things, they dye them. Because believe it or not, folks, this is what they look like when they come off the tree. Yes, it is. Mm-mm-mm. Some kind of good, folks. You know, I'm sad. It's not funny. It's funny. I got people saying, "Oh, you got a green thumb." Well, guess what? Oh, no, I don't. I'm telling you what's the dang truth. I had I had 6 rubber plant cuttings. I had the hormones on them, and they were nice and green. I don't know what happened. I hadn't looked at them since I put them under there. Maybe I should have. But I pulled them up and looked, and all 6 of them looked like that. And they had leaves. The leaves was falling off. But here's the thing. I don't know if this camera will pick that up, but can you see these little white nits and tits on these things? They were growing roots. So what happened? So much for the green thumb. I mean, I got plenty more I can do, but what happened to these? I don't know. They pretty much rotted. But they was rotting from the top down. The part down here is not rotted. So I don't know. I'm wondering, hold on a minute. I'm wondering if, let me pull my bucket over here, I'm wondering cut these off. Nah, I don't think that would. Well, it's got roots down there. Can y'all see that? Have I got anything coming on Amazon? No. I don't know. I may stick these in the dirt. Because they were sure enough rooting. And the same thing. Same thing there. Look at that. Look, got roots growing all over it. I'm going to rinse these off. Now this one ain't got no sign of a root on it anywhere. But I'm not going to put them back in the water. What I'm going to do, I'm going to stick them down in the dirt and just see what happens. But I don't, I was like shocked. What happened? I don't know. Now I've got another one. Let's see, where is that one? I've got another one. Now this is the same thing, and I did it the same way. I had it in a bottle. And that sucker sprung roots. And I've got a healthy rubber plant going there now. So that don't make no sense to me. But I've been dumping some compost in there in my pot and everything. I'm going to take a little tour down here and look at my plants and stuff, and a lot of this stuff is really taking off now. Coming up on winter like this, and now all of a sudden it decides it wants to start producing. Good grief. Yeah, that eggplant's going to town. There's a couple more small ones on there, but I got a few peppers coming along. But now, look at the camellias starting to bloom. Boy, them things are beautiful. Slow starting, but they're getting there, and oh my goodness, look up there. How about that? Yeah, this thing's gonna be busting out all over. Now I've got to get my hose brought around here. Boy, I wish there was a spigot on this side, but there ain't. And I'm gonna have to have some. Oh. Some of this trees needs to be trimmed up. Now I got something here. I don't know if it's grown roots or not. I don't know. Maybe I ought to go. Yeah. Let me shut this camera off. I'm going to go get my light. Alright. There it is. I can't I can't hold this camcorder and cut that at the same time, but you see right there, that's what I've got to cut right down below that ball, and we'll see what I got. I don't know. I'm hoping I'm able to do that. Anyway, that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to have to stand up to do it. Alright, there it is. And it may have roots on it. We'll see. I'm not going to drag it around there that don't have roots. Alright. I don't know if it does or not. And guess what? No, it don't. No, it don't. You know what, though? Too late now, though. I done cut it. You know what? If I'd have left it alone, it would have had roots. It's got little roots starting out on it. I didn't give it enough time. Son of a gun. Can y'all see that? See them little roots starting on it? Dang. Too late now, I done cut it. You know what I'm wondering? I think I'm going to cut these two limbs right here and stick this down in a pot of dirt just to see if it will do it. And again, I can't record this because I got this stupid camera. Get down. Yeah, it's recording. Alright. I'm going to plant this thing right here on this empty toad I've got. It's got a bunch of roots starting on it. I don't have any clue whether it will work or not. But I'm going to try it. And I don't want to knock none of them roots off. So, I don't want to bust my butt either. So I'm going to stick a hole. There we go. And that, I left a pretty good top on it. Now, all right, it's in there, and let's see how this does. You know what my problem is, folks? I don't have enough patience. Another month, that thing would have had nice roots on it. So I don't know how long that's been on there. It's been a while. Watch the big old cabbage head's gonna be right there. All my cabbage is doing real good now. But yeah, I don't have enough patience. I don't have enough patience. I don't have enough patience. I hope that takes. I hope it takes. Now, well, at least now I know I can do it, but it's going to take 4 or 5 months. It ain't going to take like 3 months. Going around here, I'm going to look at this rubber plant. Hey, James. Hard to believe she had that in the house at one time.
Oh yeah, that was a house plant. It's a rubber plant. Yeah, I remember when she first lived here. This house is smaller, it's more of an L shape.
Yeah.
And they add on to it.
I don't think she thought it would get that big, you know, but I took some cuttings a while back, and they didn't take. And really, that thing's about 8 foot tall. It really needs pruning back some. Same thing on that hibiscus right there too. But I guess if I did that, I better ask her. Yeah, you don't work nowhere, do you?
I'm disabled.
Huh?
I'm disabled.
Well, I knew that, but I mean, there for a while seemed like you was gone every day.
I do therapy.
Yeah, my oldest grandson in there, he's 31. He has cerebral palsy. He's disabled. He gets a Social Security check every month, but he may be fixing to lose that because they're going to give him a job at Walmart, and I don't know. We don't know for sure whether he can handle it or not, you know, but we'll see. Because he worked there one time before, about 10 years ago, but it was on a Christmas season. It was only for about a month, and they didn't keep him. And but he's going back, you know. And if they take him back, they'll have to pay him $15 an hour. But that means he'd be working there. His mama, my daughter, she'd be working there. And Joey, I don't know if you met Joey or not. That's my middle grandson. Uh, he's working there, and his wife is working. So we've got 4 in the family working there right now.
No wonder Jaden.
Yeah. No, he moved out right before we moved over here. Yeah. All right, I'm going back to the house. I'll see you later, man. Well, I lost 6 rubber plants last while ago. I don't know what in the world I may survive them. You know, I don't know. They got little roots on them, but something happened to them. I don't know what. And then I went around there and looked at that big. It's a tree actually now, but it's some kind of shrub. And I put a root ball on that thing. Seemed like 3 or 4 months ago. And I figured, I went and cut it off a while ago thinking, well, it's either going to have roots or not roots, and I was too impatient. I should have left it alone for another month, and that thing's got little bitty roots starting on it. So I cut it back quite a bit, and the thing was about 6 foot tall. And so I cut the tops off of it, and I got it planted now out there in one of them big containers, because it's got them little roots. It might make it, but I'm going to keep it watered very well for a while, give it some TLC. What's up, baby girl? I did a story, was it yesterday or the day before, about us digging the tunnel, us kids digging the tunnel inside of that ditch and having that cave in. Oh, we had dirt all in the heavy mess. We had dirt in the ears, in the mouth, in the eyes, down our shirts. Well, who was that had the shirt off? Was that George? I think that was George had his shirt off. Anyhow, I got another story about it. We did a lot of stuff in that ditch. And that ditch, what it did, it collected the runoff. There was a highway right close by, and when the water run off the highway, that's where it went to, that ditch. Somewhere in a drain there somewhere. And Bailey, get over here. Bailey. And when it rains, it catches quite a bit of water. And we knew that, and we always went over there and played in the water in that thing when it rained. But it must have come a big rain down up the line somewhere. We was out there playing in that. There was me and George and Carolyn, and I'm pretty sure we had Michael, because that was the baby. He was in diapers. We didn't have no business out there in that ditch with that baby. Michael was born about maybe 2 years old. He was walking. And I don't think Joe wasn't born yet. But we was playing in the water, you know, and it was maybe a foot deep. We was having a good time. Well, we wasn't swimming. We didn't know how to swim. I didn't learn how to swim until I was about 12 or 13 years old. could have been a major disaster. I don't, the water started getting up, and I mean it got up fast, and it was running. It got up fast, and we started trying to fish Michael and Joe, or Michael and George, out of the water. I think George was 3 or 4, and Michael was about 2. Carolyn was 7, and I was 8. That we all could have drowned. We could have all 4 of us lost our lives right there. But Michael kept falling, and when he fell, he'd go under. And George was just barely staying up. And it's a blooming mystery to me. The one we should have got out of there first should have been Michael, the baby. But for some reason, maybe he was closer. I can't remember flies around here and all that. But for some reason, we dragged George out of there and dropped him 2 or 3 times. Same thing with Michael. Michael kept going under. George was crying, Michael was crying, Carolyn was screaming, and I was screaming back at her, you know. And you know what? Mama never knew about that incident. She knew we'd come home wet when we told her we was playing in the rain. Because when it rains, we're supposed to come home anyway. But that's that's another story about that dang ditch. That's about 3 of them about to tunnel, about us peeing across the ditch. And this one here, about all 4 of us kids just about drowned. We did not get back in that ditch if it even looked like it was going to rain. We didn't know that the rain could make that much water come through there. But we lived next to Princess Anne Highway. And I don't know what route number that is, but it was a main highway. And a lot of water run off that thing, and I guess way on up there where the ditch went, that's probably where it caught all that rain, because that rain would start falling, it'd start running down the highway until it got to the drain, and then our ditch caught it. Of course, it wasn't our ditch. Yes, sir, boy, Carolyn. And of course, I got blamed for it because I happened to be a year older than Carolyn. I got blamed for everything when something happened. Mackie did it. Or Mackie told us to. Mackie told us to do that. One time, our refrigerator was an ice box. It wasn't electric. You put a block of ice up in the top of that thing, and the cool air from the ice dropped down below and kept everything cool. And you had to get new ice. The iceman would bring you ice every 2 or 3 days. And you had a little card that you put in your window, and each edge had a number, 25, 50, 75, and 100. And whichever number you had turning upright where it was sitting the way it was supposed to, that's the pounds you wanted that day, and he didn't have to come in and ask And if you didn't have the cart in there at all, you didn't get no ice. And I don't know what you had to pay for that stuff, but the Iceman, it was a black guy, and the wagon, it was a horse, a mule-drawn wagon. It had big old blocks of ice in there with little indentations around it where you could cut it into the size you wanted. And one day, we were standing out there. We always try to get a little chip of ice or something from him. We were standing out there one day, and one block he was chipping. He don't want it to go in little bitty pieces. They need to stay in blocks. And this one little, I think it was a 25-pound block. And he hit it one more time with the ice pick, and that little 25-pound block of ice, it just shattered. Little pieces. It was useless. Of course, we was happy because we could get some ice, but when that happened, he was cussing. He was saying stuff like damn and shit, and that happened more than once. Because one day after he brought ice in the house, me and Carolyn was sitting in there on the kitchen cabinet after he put the ice in. And we decided we was going to play Iceman. I don't know what the heck we would have done. But we sitting there, and you know how some of the black people have full lips? And he had full lips. And I don't know, would that be considered making fun of him or not? I don't know. But we was sitting there, and we was mimicking the Iceman. We put our lips out like that, and we was saying damn and shit. And Mama called us. Mama called us. We had to go to bed, I think, around 6 o'clock that night because of that. And that was terrible, too. That was summertime. And it stayed daylight till about 8:30 or 9 o'clock. And I remember laying there in that bed, and we were supposed to be going to sleep. And the window was up. It didn't have air conditioning. The breeze was blowing. You could hear other kids still out there playing. And there we laid in the bed, supposed to be going to sleep. That was awful. That was awful. You did not want to be in that house during the daytime when there was no school. You wanted outside. Nowadays, Jaden in there, he comes out every once in a while. Anyhow, folks, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. And I love you, and you know I do, because what? Because I tell you so. And I'll see you in the next one. See ya.